Antes de seguir, vamos con el Premio Nobel de Física a esta hora. John Clauser es el ganador del Premio Nobel de Física, así es de que lo primero es saludarlo, felicitarlo y agradecerle que atienda esta primerísima llamada. Professor Clauser, congratulations and thank you very much for accepting this very early telephone call.
Well, thank you.
Where are you at this moment, Professor Clauser?
I'm in Walnut Creek, California. I'm still waking up.
So at what time...
I may not sound very good as I was asleep earlier.
At what time, California time, did you receive the confirmation of your prize?
Well, I still haven't from the official Swedish Academy. So far, I've got. I think you're the fourth Swedish or European news agency who's phoned, and then a former friend from San Diego called me. But I have not yet heard anything from the actual Swedish Academy.
Don't you worry. It's ready, confirmed. Believe me, you are the Nobel Prize winner.
Thank you. Apparently, with all the news agencies calling.
No, don't you worry. Wake up your family, and I think you can start having a delicious glass of champagne to celebrate. Professor Clauser. Professor Clauser.
I don't happen to have any around, but I will.
Well, okay, find a vodka. You can find a vodka. You can find a beer. Professor Clauser, let me ask you, do you know the other professors sharing the award, Professor Aspect and Professor Zeilingier? And
from France and I'm from Austria, and Alain Aspect from Paris. And with the three of us together won the 2010 Wolf Prize from Israel.
Okay.
So, but and there was talk at that time that there would be a possible Nobel Prize following, but that was 22 or 12 years ago. So not much has happened since then.
Professor Clauser, you are working with which university in California?
I'm long retired. My last job here was at University of California, Berkeley, but I've never been a professor, by the way. So just a scientist, Dr. Clauser is probably more appropriate. And then before that, I was at I was also with the Lawrence Livermore Lab and Lawrence Berkeley Lab in between a couple of times at University of California at Berkeley.
Professor Clauser, before we do a very short translation, could you explain to me that I have no idea on quantic science? You won the award because the power of the quantic mechanic. What is that in very simple words?
I wish I could explain it in very simple words. The truth of the matter is I don't understand it still myself. There was a famous debate between Niels Bohr and Albert Einstein about what quantum mechanics means. And so back in 1972, over 50 years ago, I did with Stu Friedman at UC Berkeley, did the first experiment to actually decide between who all was right between the two. And much to my grand disappointment, Einstein was wrong. I was hoping and actually had small wagers that he would be right, but my own experiment showed me that unfortunately that he and I were both wrong on that hope. So, but to some extent, it's an issue of an old issue from Bishop Berkeley. If a tree fell in the forest, would there be sound? Is the world truly objective? And it appears that no, it is not. Or we still don't understand what quantum mechanics means. It just seems to give correct predictions for reasons that none of us seem to understand.
Pues Julio, él decía... I'm so sorry, let me translate that really quickly, please. Pues nos dice que está en California, apenas está despertando, por supuesto que estaba dormido. Nos dice que aún no ha recibido la noticia de la academia, es la cuarta llamada que recibe del cuarto medio en Europa. Dice que ha recibido llamadas y un amigo de San Diego también lo llamó, pero no ha escuchado nada de la academia. Le decía a Julio que está confirmado, que no se preocupe, y él dice que aparentemente sí, porque pues ha recibido todas estas llamadas de agencias de noticias en el mundo. Le dice Julio que celebre con champaña, pero dice que no tiene cerca. Entonces nos dice que además conoce a los otros dos ganadores de Austria y Francia, porque los tres juntos ganaron un premio en 2010 y les dijeron que después de eso seguiría el premio Nobel, pero ya han pasado 12 años y mucho ha ocurrido en ese lapso de tiempo, así que no se lo esperaba. Nos dice que está ya retirado, que su último trabajo fue en la Universidad de California y de Berkeley. Nunca ha sido profesor, así que dice que es más apropiado llamarlo doctor. Estuvo más haciendo trabajo de laboratorio en Berkeley, California, y sobre el tema de la mecánica cuántica, que lo hizo merecedor de ese premio. Dice que ojalá pudiera explicarlo en palabras simples, porque él mismo no lo entiende todavía. Él pudo resolver un debate que había entre Albert Einstein y otro científico acerca de la mecánica cuántica y qué significa. Él hizo en 1972 el primer experimento y para su pesar se dio cuenta que tanto Einstein como él estaban mal. Él hubiera querido que Einstein estuviera en lo correcto, pero no, se equivocó. Pero nos dice que es un problema muy complejo que aún ni él entiende acá en su totalidad.
Dr. Klauser, you're a pioneer in quantum information science.
I guess a one further, the useful, you asked earlier, one further comment regarding that is one of the important results of all of this work that Mike Bohr and I subsequently showed was that what it means is you can't confine information or even a single bit of information in into a small finite volume. You can't put it in a little box that sits on your desk, and there are bits of information in this world that cannot be confined. If that helps explain what all this means.
Él quiere pues agregar algo para entender mejor el trabajo, y es que se puede confinar cierta información o un pedazo de información en un pequeño volumen o una caja en el escritorio, por ejemplo. Se puede confinar una información en un espacio muy pequeño, si eso de pronto ayuda a entender.
Professor, or doctor, sorry, I would like to know, when you think about about quantum mechanics, well, you're speaking about the smallest part of the universe, of the place where we live. Is there a space for God in your beliefs as a scientist?
I personally am an atheist, if that helps. But for me personally, no. But that's just my own personal choice.
Para él no, pero esto él lo juzga personalmente.
Dr. Klauser, I understand also that you are an avid sailboat racer. I would like to know if you are still into that field.
Oh yes, I just was in a race and beat my boat up into little bitty pieces by sailing in some very heavy winds a couple of weeks ago. So I'm still putting it all back together again. But yes, I actively race here on San Francisco Bay.
Sí, señor, aún compite en bote. Le preguntaba a Ismael si aún competía en bote, que era algo que también le gusta hacer, y dice que sigue activo en la bahía de San Francisco, lo practica.
Dr. Klauser, how long have you spent working on the problem which led to this Nobel Prize?
The original work I did in 1969 with Admiral Shimoni, Mike Horn, and Dick Holt, where we proposed to do the first experiment to test between the ideas of Niels Bohr and Albert Einstein. And then I've actually, that was while I was still a graduate student at Columbia. And then in 1972, I came here to California and was at the University of California, Berkeley with Stu Friedman. But we published the results of the first experiment. So quite some time been working on this.
Pues nos dice que es bastante tiempo. En 1959 propuso el primer experimento entre la idea de Niels Bohr y Albert Einstein. Nos dice que posteriormente, en 1972, en la Universidad de Berkeley, obtuvo el resultado de su investigación en California. Así que bastante tiempo.
You had the chance to meet Niels Bohr?
In fact, my associates, all of those, Shimoni, Horn, and Friedman are all dead. Everyone left still alive is from that era is Dick Holt.
De hecho, sus asociados están muertos, así que le sorprende que él aún siga vivos de las personas con las que inició sus estudios originales.
And you had the chance to meet Niels Bohr because, well, he's one of the fathers of present.
Niels Bohr died when I was still in college.
Oh, okay.
Before I even started.
No,
and Einstein also. So they were long, totally different era.
No conoció a Niels Bohr.
I wish I would have had a chance, but. They were all long before me.
But if you had the chance today to meet Niels Bohr or Einstein, Dr. Klauser, if you had the chance to meet Niels Bohr or Albert Einstein today, what would you say to them?
Say, sorry, Albert, Niels was right. You were wrong, but I was betting on you, Albert.
Bueno, nos dice que no alcanzó a conocer a Niels Bohr porque eran eras absolutamente distintas. Él murió antes tan siquiera de que él comenzara sus estudios, y si ahora mismo tuviera la oportunidad de conocer a Niels Bohr y Albert Einstein, le diría: lo siento, Albert, Niels tenía razón, estaba en lo correcto, pero yo te estaba haciendo fuerza, Albert.
Dr. Klauser, in 2011, you were nominated for the Nobel Prize for your tests on the Bell's inequalities and quantum entanglement. Is this award something it was pending on your career? It was something that you were chasing?
I suppose everybody every scientist would love to win a Nobel Prize. That is quite naturally, but like I said, we won the prize in 2010, and there was the subsequent nomination, but since then there hasn't been much activity in that, so I wasn't holding my breath, if you will, after that. So. but of course, everybody strives to win a Nobel Prize, especially in physics.
Doctor, do you know any professor from Colombia or from South America working in your study?
I personally don't. Don't know anybody personally there now. I've been retired from being a scientist, although I still occasionally write papers. But
doesn't sound for you familiar?
I don't know anybody personally there.
From Caltech in Pasadena, doesn't it sound familiar for you? The name of Ricardo Gómez?
Ricardo Gómez. I think I vaguely that name sounds vaguely familiar. Many years ago, when I was an undergraduate there, back in I was in a class of 1964 at Caltech.
Yes.
So I think I vaguely remember that name, but I don't really know the man.
Dr. Klauser, thank you very much. You will be this year 80 years old. If you start working in this problem since 1969, that means that the 70% of your life you have been working the same problem.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I've had a lot of other problems that I worked on since then. I did 4 experiments. I left Berkeley in '76 and went on to Livermore Lab, working in controlled fusion energy research, and then I worked for a year at SAIC. We were building a device to look for bombs and carry on airline luggage, and then went back to Berkeley to do build basically to do the two-slit young two-slit experiment with with atoms at Berkeley. So I have been doing working on other problems in addition to this. Since then, let's see, that I used that. After that, I had to set up a lab here in Walnut Creek to do work now. It's now finally coming to use to do phase contrast imaging with X-rays. For particular, looking for cancer in soft tissues, breast cancer and the like. Not really related to, only distantly related to the original quantum mechanics research. But I'm now pretty much fully retired from all that. But I still occasionally write papers.
Dr. Klauser, thank you very much for your time. Again, congratulations on your award. And I can confirm to you that you are the Nobel Prize winner of this year. And please, it's 3:40 in the morning in California. Have a drink and enjoy it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, profesor. Bueno, confirmado, ¿no? No vamos a salir con un fake news, ¿no, Juan Pablo?
No, súper. Yo ya me metí a la página también en el momento en el que él dijo que no, y no, sí, ya está.
Tipo, nadie le ha dicho, ¿no? Nadie le ha dicho oficialmente.
Está el tradicional, tradicional dibujo que hacen de la imagen de cada uno de los ganadores, y aparece él rodeado de los otros 2 científicos que se alzan con el Premio Nobel de Física de este año. Así que enhorabuena, porque madrugamos a saludar a un ganador de algo muy, pero muy interesante en su investigación.
Bueno, vamos con el resumen ejecutivo. Es que es muy simpático el tipo.
No, pues queridísimo.
Muerto de la risa.
No, además, el hombre ya está pensionado, ¿no? Entonces, en realidad, ya le queda celebrar.
Pero debe tener un teorema por resolver en la mesita de noche todavía. ¿Qué dijo el profesor Clauser, Premio Nobel de Física? Grace, en la parte final, resumen ejecutivo.
Le preguntaba a Ismael si este premio Nobel era algo pendiente para él, si era algo que venía persiguiendo, y dice que todo el mundo, sobre todo en el campo de la física, todo científico lo espera, es algo natural. Como nos decía, en 2010 ganó un premio junto a estos dos investigadores y pues desde ahí no había mucho más actividad, así que pues no estaba teniendo su aliento esperando a ver si se ganaba el Nobel, pero pues sí algo que en el fondo esperaba. Y nos dice que pues él no conoce a nadie personalmente en Colombia o en América del Sur. Con respecto a la pregunta que le hacía Julio, le preguntó específicamente por Ricardo Gómez. El nombre le suena familiar, de Caltech, en 1964, hace muchos años, pero no cree que lo reconozca, no lo tiene tan claro en su memoria. Nos dice que él está retirado hace mucho tiempo, aunque aún escribe investigaciones. Nos dice que también dedicó su vida a hacer otras investigaciones sobre otros temas, no sobre este con el que ganó el Nobel. Nos dice que se retiró de Berkeley en el 76, luego trabajó en otro laboratorio sobre temas de energía, luego volvió a Berkeley para hacer un experimentos sobre los átomos ahí en Berkeley, así que también resolvió otros problemas adicionales a este, no solo dedicó su vida y tuvo diferentes, digamos, investigaciones, no todas relacionadas con mecánica cuántica, que fue la que le dio este premio.